Alexa, turn off.
Welcome to Reset to Healthy Your Relationships Sunday nights at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, here with course manager and co-host Rufus Carpenter. We have another wonderful topic for you guys tonight. And before we dive into our topic, or before I give you the topic, just want to give you a little bit of housekeeping rules. Please mute your phones until you are ready to speak to avoid any background noise, as well as let's be respectful and allow everyone to speak their truth and get their comments in. So tonight, as I stated, is another hot topic. The title for tonight is it love or control? Let's talk about the difference together. And before we dive in deeper, I'm going to allow Mr. Carpenter to tell you a little bit about himself and his background.
Okay, hi, I'm Rufus Carpenter. Since the topic's so good tonight, I'm gonna make mine quick so we can get into this. So I want to see the fruits of this labor. My name is Rufus Carpenter. My background is three different areas, kind of diverse. From a big family in Virginia, never had enough. That taught me the human connection. Then I was married 27 years. Same lady that taught me relationships. And then I was in the military, and one of my jobs in the military was human relation and race relation leader. We had the responsibility of investigating any relationship or race issues within our Army units. I'd be the first person on the scene, and I would do what's called an intake form. And what that does is assess what level of responsibility or resources we got through at solving that relationship or race problem. And plus, this container here is basically set up where 20 of you and your girlfriends or in your living room on a Sunday afternoon, the kids are in the bed, you got a couple glasses of wine, you're feeling good, and you got 20 of your girlfriends in your living room with you, and you guys are about ready to talk about some relationship issues. You know, you guys talk about your challenges, your breakthroughs, and you talk about the things that really on your mind. Normally, each week we have a topic, and we have a topic this week too, but that don't stop you from bringing up any relationship issues or questions you have, because with the host of what we have here on Glenn and I, our coaches, and the audience, we have so many audience members that somebody collectively, we can get it solved for you. So you're in the right place, right time, Glenda.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Carpenter. Tonight's conversation is one we don't often have openly, but one we absolutely need. We're talking about the fine line between loving from a place of trust and holding on from a place of fear. As women, we carry so many lessons about protecting ourselves, protecting our relationships. But what happens when protection becomes possession? Tonight is about breathing life back into your connections, choosing trust over control, and building the kind of love that liberates us and our partners. Take a breath, release the fear, and let's grow together. Mr. Carpenter.
Oh man, it's when you talk about is it love or control, and especially tonight we're gonna talk about the difference because a lot of people say I love you, and because I love you, I have some kind of ownership on you, and that ownership is not a it's not an ownership that hey we in this relationship together, so I own my half relationship, you own your half relationship, and we come together. Their ownership is you can't talk to nobody, you can't go nowhere without me, you can't do this, you can't do that, ain't no more of this and all. No, 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 no. We get it twisted sometimes. Sometimes our need for security, because everybody, when you get into a relationship, you want that humans, you want security. You want to feel that you're enough. You want to feel that you have the right person. You want to feel that the person on the other side respect you as you respect them. But that don't give you a license to ruin the life just because I love you. Because I love you, I'm gonna make sure you stay in that box. Tonight we're gonna let you know that if you got a person in a box, you're not doing them any justice or doing yourself any justice. So we're gonna have a lively conversation about that tonight, Glenda. Let's get started.
All right. I'm going to start off with an example with
Okay.
Tasha and Marcus.
Okay.
Tasha feels anxious every time Marcus hangs out with his female co-worker. even though nothing inappropriate has happened, she tells him she's uncomfortable and insists he stops spending time with her. So the question in regards to that example is this about setting a boundary or trying to control out of fear?
I guess it all depends on which one, whether you're Tasha, whether you're Marcus. That's the first way to look at that.
That's a male's response, for real.
No, I'm just saying. Hey, let's comment. Anybody want to comment other than me? Because I'm going to get into this. Who else want to comment on that before I get into that one?
Good evening, everybody. So before you comment, Coach Glenda, I think I need to ask you to back up just a little bit. So I'm confused. Which?
You want me to read it again?
Please.
Okay.
Thank
Tasha
you.
feels anxious every time Marcus hangs out with his female coworker. Even though nothing inappropriate has happened, she tells him she's uncomfortable and insists he stop spending time with her. And the question was, is this about setting a boundary or trying to control out of fear?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, y'all want me to go first? Then I'll go first. I'll start it off. When you say that thing, is nothing inappropriate yet? In Tasha's mind, when he stayed out with his female I'm excited. Let me back up. Let me slow down a little because I'm so excited. In Tasha's mind, when Marcus hung out with a female coworker, in her mind, that was inappropriate. It started right there. That's where she put a kickstand down and said, brother, this ain't happening. Bring your butt home. Now, so that's control to me.
Okay.
Anyone else got a different story than I got? I see you, Dr. Johnson. I see you. I see you. I can feel your brain.
And then on the other hand, do they hang out together? You know, the three of them, or is she in the same company with his girlfriend?
I can tell you from the answer. I can tell you from the question. Heck no. From the question, it's just him and her.
I know.
But you got a problem with it.
Not all the time, but sometimes maybe they can hang out together. But the question don't reveal that, so you have to go by what the statements say.
Here's what's said and unsaid. Go ahead.
I guess the bottom line is it sounds like she's trying to control him out of fear.
Because think about the way the question reads, Tasha feel anxious every time, not sometime, not every now and again. Every time Marcus go out, hang out with that girl, she got an issue.
Now, Sharon put in the chat, actually, she said, I would not have a problem with it if I could do the same.
Right.
That's a good point.
That was reciprocity. That was last week reciprocity, huh?
But it fits the scenario.
Go ahead.
I was trying to be quiet. Well, first of all, it's all about trust and how deep and trust in your relationship it is. Second of all, it's a little bit controlling. And if you feel that way, then what you need to do is get off of your pursuit and go and see what's going on yourself and be part of it. And once you start going when you're invited to go, that's if you're invited to go, then you'll see what's going on. Because as she stated, there was nothing ever done inappropriate until you start going and somebody crosses that line in front of you. There's nothing wrong with trusting. And then on the flip side, as the young lady just said, if you're allowed to do it, then she should be open to do it as well. And if you feel uncomfortable, you should go with her. It's called sharing the trust. That's what it's called. I trust you as well as you trust me. Like, I can only speak for my relationship and my marriage. I'm way up in Georgia. I trust her down here in Florida and vice versa. And when we together, we doing so much stuff together until when I'm out with the fellas, she know what I'm doing because she had the opportunity to be there to see what we do, to see the type of fellowship. And when the females are around, other wives or girlfriends or whatever, she understands what goes on. So when I'm laughing and carrying on with the females that's there, ain't nothing inappropriate. They was friends and even being friends before you come in the picture. I'm not gonna just cut people off. And that's my perspective.
Can I get somebody? Can I get everybody to put in the chat? And here's the question in the chat: is it appropriate for a male, or your husband, or your husband or your boyfriend? Is it okay for him to hang out with single women? Is it okay for him to hang out with a coworker? Is it appropriate? Yes or no? In the chat. In the chat. Put in the chat. Is it appropriate?
It's no third choice.
No third choice.
Well, the way you put it, you can't you can't put it like that.
No,
Right.
because that's not fair.
No,
That's not
yeah,
fair.
yeah, you can't put it like that.
It's
Why
too broad
can't?
of it's because it's too broad of a question.
Yeah, it's too broad. Yeah.
It's too broad. It's too
Okay,
open.
I'm gonna ask you this question from Tasha. Okay. I'm gonna ask Tasha a question here. Should it be a problem if Marcus hung out with a female coworker? Yes or no? Now
I
put in
say
your
no.
chat yes or put in your chat
Wait a
no.
minute, say that again, Rufus.
Is it okay? Okay? We're going from Tasha now. We're going from Tasha. Is it appropriate for Marcus to hang out with a female coworker after work?
It
Yes
depends.
or no? Okay. Tell me how many yes, how many got no's. Then we'll let
I
Gigi.
got one yes, one no, two no's, one
Everybody
yes.
need to weigh in on it. Put in the chat. Then we're gonna let Gigi answer it because Gigi want to say something.
It's still too broad of a statement because
Okay.
first of all, you don't know whether there's been something done or not. But
But
you don't know if it was something said.
this
So it's
ain't that.
hard to just say it's hard to just say yes or no,
Kingdom.
Rufus.
That's not the question, Kingdom. We're going on what we got. We're not. This case study just gave us just that. We're going on what we got. Now, Gigi, I think you wanted to say something. Gigi, what were you gonna say?
Yes, I do. Listen, when you start hanging out with females and males and you start all this communication and talking, okay, that's fine while you're at work. But when you're going out for drinks, you start getting those emotions involved, and you know, one person starts with this what if, and
Uh-huh.
then we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fear, it's respect.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see where that would be quite possible.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I'm an optimist or whatever you want to call them. Is okay, let me just say it like this point blank. I don't see a problem with them hanging out if the two of you have trust within each other. Because, first of all, I was raised up. Don't put yourself in a position to be accused if you don't want to be accused. But then to cover up on that, if I'm out with that person, if I'm out with that person, that female friend, you understand? It's up to me to cross that boundary or not cross it. And if I have all the trust in the world with you, then I'm going to trust myself to not even put myself in that position. We can go hang out, have drinks, and bowl and do whatever
But,
because it's not going to be just the two of us. It's not going to
but,
be just the two of us.
All right, go ahead, Gigi.
well, when you're out, you know, eventually somebody's gonna ask the question. Won't nobody know? We could just go do this and go on about our business. I'm just playing devil's advocate right here.
You mean somebody gonna ask how many licks they get to the center of Tootsie Roll Pop?
You darn right they will. I mean, a man or a female will try.
Right. And if it was innocent, why didn't they? I mean, if y'all co-workers, you or him, male or female, should know if the other one is already involved in a relationship. Did they invite your partner?
That's correct. Why
and if they didn't, you already know it's a hidden agenda, or they just want to see how far they can go, or how, see if they can, take you out, or, explore other options.
But see, that's why I told y'all there was it's too broad of a statement.
Well, yeah, that's Mr. Carpenter. He made it broad.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because like I said, without knowing the whole scenario, you can't just make it a yes or no answer.
You're right.
Can I say something? Yes, you can.
Please.
Yes, you can make it a yes or no answer, because any kind of hanging out, if it's only two people, it's personal. Whether it's best friend, husband and wife, girlfriends, or whatever. It ain't no two people hanging out doing nothing and it's not personal. Whether it's going out to eat, whether it's bowling, whether it's a movie. I mean, because that means y'all have some kind of relationship or bond. No, I don't agree with that. No.
But here's the thing. Now you got to sit down. You say you're devil's advocate, but you got to sit down and think. Is it really just one-on-one, or is it just out with the co-workers?
No, it's really just one-on-one.
This one said worker. This one said female worker. This even said one, and it made sure she was a female. It said female worker.
No, because I mean, why nobody else going? Why it's got to be just them two?
I would decline the offer.
So I guess most of the people on the line say he should carry the narrow butt on home, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, go find somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Here again, it depends on the circumstances. To me, it does. Circumstances got a lot to do with it, because Miss Gigi, you and I are straight friends. Okay, I'm gonna use us as an example. You and I are straight friends. I don't have a clue of what you're going through, but then I'm finding out that you are going through something. Okay, it's nothing wrong with me to go sit at the bar with you. We ain't gonna get drunk, because I know my limit. You understand? I can sit there and talk and communicate with you after hours, because during work hours, you ain't supposed to be going through stuff like that. You can't elaborate on stuff. Huh?
Why you got to sit at a bar? Why you can't call her from your house?
I can call from the house.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
also
saying
can invite the wife too.
Okay, but you didn't say that. You said it's okay for you and her to go sit at a bar.
His question was not involving anybody else. Is one-on-one. I can sit there and talk to you one-on-one, because I know you ain't going nowhere and I ain't going nowhere. So what's the difference? Now that's me, but I can't speak for Rufus, because now Rufus is a different story.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think if that's the case, then let her talk to your wife.
Says go get a counselor.
Yeah, something.
Hey, only Ava.
Okay. Well, hold on. Well, this is in that. I say they could and should go out, because they are co-workers, so they have a relationship already, because they're working together. They have bonded through work. But the bottom line to it is, some things you want to talk to them about, or want to talk to somebody when you're working, you can't take that work time to discuss it adequately like you want to, or fully.
That's my point.
So maybe you want to go out to continue, or to truly talk about whatever you want to talk about. Even if you want to say, girl, I want to date you, so let's talk about it. Or guy, I want to date you, let's talk about it. Or, this is bothering me about something else. I really need to talk to you about it, because you have already formed a bond just by working together. And you're not intimate as far as sexual. You're just, you got to understand, I have worked with guys where I have felt so close to just at work, because they got my back, and I know they got my back. I got theirs. We have bonded. So when I go out to talk with them, or they would go out and talk with me, it was love, but it wasn't that sexual love or whatever. Now, there may have been times when we wanted it to go that direction, but I would have known that he has a spouse or a person, and he would have known that I have a person. So we already have a boundary that we know we're either going to cross or we're not going to cross. So when that invitation for him and I or whatever to go out, we've already decided in our head before the answer has been a yes or a no what we gonna do. So
That's my point. I agree with you 100% because it's all boils down to respecting each other's.
cool.
If that's a true friendship or coworker that cares about you in that way, they're going to respect that boundary as well as you respect that boundary. So therefore, I agree with you 150%.
I agree with what Annette said too. I really agree, Annette, too. But here's my caveat there. It works if you know what side, if it works only if you know your spouse or you know your significant other. Because if you know doing this innocent enough, it's going to have some issues with your spouse or significant other. You may want to reconsider. That's the only caveat I got to say.
Okay,
right?
Rufus, I'm going to tell you what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
It's called you have lack of self-esteem for one. Two, okay, let me see, what's the other word I'm looking for? You don't
Insecure.
have insecure and self-confidence. You
That's
don't
not
trust.
true.
Okay.
You don't trust
I don't
because a
agree.
lot of people they conscience eat them up. They say I don't want you going out with them because first of all they conscience eat them up because they couldn't do it. They
Let's
can't do it.
let's go further in the night because we've got this is just the first example. We've got 3 more examples that's going to help us gather a clear understanding of this. We're going to get clarity through this. All right, Glenda, let's go to part 2.
All right, we have Aisha and Darnell. Darnell enjoys going to family barbecues without Aisha sometimes. Aisha worries that if she isn't present, he'll bond with someone else. She starts she starts a
Let her
guilt
finish.
trip. She starts a guilt trip with him
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought
about
I was
always. Okay. Let me start all over because that was funny, Sharon. Darnell enjoys going to family barbecues without Aisha sometimes. Aisha worries that if she isn't present, he'll bond with someone else. She starts guilt tripping him into always bringing her. Is love about always being attached or trusting that space doesn't mean disconnection?
Okay, this is a
I'm
different
on her
scenario. This is a little
side.
different. Go ahead. You can go first. Go ahead, Kenny.
I'm on her side.
On whose
I would
side?
feel off the female.
Okay,
I
you
would be
okay.
yeah, because I'd be mad and upset. I would. And the reason being, you said a key thing. He's always going without her. So if he's going to family functions without her, then that means he don't want her there. And he's not inviting her. So
Oh,
he's opening that door. Because if
oh,
he's going to a family function and they together, hey babe, I'm going over to the family function. Come on, you going with me? Now if she chooses not to go, then that's a different story. But the way that sounds like she wants to go, but he don't want her to go.
okay. Okay.
Go
Can
ahead,
I say
Sharon.
this?
Go
Can
ahead,
I say
Sharon.
this? Now,
Go ahead.
okay, but on the same token, you said you could understand 2 people going out and hanging out, 2 co-workers. But let's say she had to work or, or for some reason she couldn't be there or he had to go on ahead of her. Why would she be worried if they had that kind of trust? I mean, it was okay.
It's a family
The
function.
difference is they make it sound like it's more than one family function. And he's going to every family function without her, the way I gathered it. Every family function. And
Okay,
it
I didn't
sounds
hear
like
that
a
part.
lot of them.
Oh,
Okay.
Mm.
So if it's every now and then a family function, then I wouldn't feel that way for her. But
mm,
the way it sounded to me, he's always going to family functions. and it's without her. So that makes the difference.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about that guilt tripping part. Let's talk about that part because of guilt tripping. Now, if she's not present, think about it. Because all of us, I think all of us been to some type of family reunion or family function where your spouse, significant other may not want to go, may have issues with your family. They may say, that's your people, you going over there. They may have issues or they may go and they might want you to leave early, or they may not want you to participate in all things that family do. So it's a lot of dynamics sometimes. And sometimes I might want to go by myself. I might not want you there. So it's a lot to this one. I think this one's a lot to this one here. But I think the guilt tripping part, I think if she have an issue, I think they would need to sit down and just talk about it instead of guilt tripping. Because guilt tripping, that can make a person bitter. If you sit me down and say, look, Rufus, I have an issue with you always going by yourself to your family functions. Let's talk about it because this is bothering me and we need to work some type of solution. We need to come to type of resolution here. But if you don't do it that way, if you just Rufus, oh hell, you going again to your daggone family. What y'all be doing there? You start talking under your breath like that. Eventually, I'm gonna start getting bitter. I'm gonna start saying, hey, as a matter of fact, next time I know you ain't going. you done messed it up right now. So let's talk
Why
about
you don't want me to go? You must got something going on. You don't want me to go. You don't want me there. Why you don't want me there? Who you seeing?
None of your business.
Who said that?
Well, I have a large family, and at the family gatherings, not only do we have family, but we have family friends and friends of this person and friends of that person. So
Eh, eh,
unless she's married to him or they're just boyfriend and girlfriend, may make a little difference. But if you're not taking me around your family, that means that either you don't want your family to get to know me or you got somebody else.
And sometimes you be having exes from exes and exes there as well. Because just
That's
because
right.
you fell out with them, don't mean your family fell out with them. Because mama always gonna invite the other one.
Every time.
The one she likes.
You understand? So
Yeah.
my thing is to make a simple solution is not to say don't go, pack your shit and go with them. See for yourself. And if you feel uncomfortable, that's when that communication come in. Hey, look, babe, I don't feel comfortable with you hanging around that particular woman because they mean you no harm. I mean no good. And if you continuously want to go and do whatever, hey, that's a red flag. When you know what we do with red flags, or should do with red flags.
Yep. Okay. Any more comments on this one? This one pretty cut and dry, or we got some more conversation to do with this one?
Well, you know what I was thinking with this one too.
Uh-huh.
What is it possible that he has a problem with her with family anyway? Is he just trying to keep her? He likes her separately, but when she's with in his family or whatever, he can't. Is something about her that doesn't agree? Is it possible that that's the thing?
Well, who was that just speaking?
Annette.
Annette.
Yes.
I agree with what you just said because here's the situation. Sometimes we can take our spouses and friends with us. And when they get around certain people or families or whatever, they become a different person.
That's true.
They become a different person. So instead of the embarrassment or whatever, hey babe, I prefer you stay home because such and such gonna be there.
Yeah.
And you know how you two are. You understand? It's all about that communication. But then on the flip side, if I do take you there as a spouse or a girlfriend or whatever, and that person there, I should know how to avoid them. Come on, baby, let's walk over here. Baby, let's go get a cup of coffee. Baby, let's go get a drink. You understand? To avoid the situation. So it all depends. It's certain scenarios you can work it out where you still can go, but that person still need to go with you. Not every time, but still go to see what goes on and feel go enough to make it comfortable to go. Let me put it that way.
That's true.
Well, I want to piggyback on what Annette said. The guy that I dated for 15 years, his friends and family would ask him, why you don't never bring Glenda when you come in town, when you come home to visit? And he said, well, I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable because, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do this and that. And then she's always working every weekend. But when he came back and told me, I said, but you never told them that you never invited me. We took advantage of meeting your friends and family when it was convenient for us, not when you was on one of your sporadic, getaways for the weekend to see your family and friends. But his reason for not constantly bringing me along was because I didn't smoke and drink like his friends did. So it would have been a clash because that stuff doesn't bother him, but he knew that it would bother me. So I always stayed home and did what I wanted to do on the weekends.
But did it really bother you, Glenda? Did it really bother you not drinking
The
and smoking?
only
Because I'm gonna tell you, me personally, for years I didn't smoke or drink or do none of that. You know why? It was against my religion to do it. But guess what? It didn't stop my joy. Get your little cup. I'm gonna get my cup too. And guess what? I'm gonna have ruby red grapefruit juice on ice on my cup. Ain't nobody gonna know what's going on, but I'm
but
still
no,
gonna enjoy the
the
company.
only part that bothered me is that he never asked. I just
That's
wanted to
the
have the
point.
opportunity to decline. Don't assume or make it sound as if, make the call for me. Ask me. And if I tell you no, that's it.
Please. But that's what I said in the last scenario you just had.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't ask me to go, make me feel you don't want me to go.
Was he
So that's why I
embarrassed
say
of
they
it?
need to go.
What was that, Gigi?
Go ahead, Gigi.
Was he embarrassed? Did he not want to take her around because he was embarrassed?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yes.
No, no. I mean, because I met them. I met all his friends and I met all his family, his immediate circle, even his children. But it was just that when he went home, they like they like to smoke and they like to drink. They hang out real late at night. And he said she like to stay on the computer all the time. She's like a bookworm. That's not her thing. So I don't think it was embarrassing because I did ask that question and he said that wasn't it. It's just that you wouldn't fit. I said, okay.
He was
Let me
protecting
make
you.
my own. Let me make my own assumption and my own
He was
decision.
protecting you.
Don't do it for me because I have
Uh,
a brother. I have a brother that's married. His wife is a workaholic. No matter what functions we have, no matter where we go, fun or business, whatever, she's on her computer working, working, working. But yet and still, guess what? She's still there.
Right.
Gigi said it nice. Gigi want to be nice to you. Gigi said he was protecting you. She said it nice. I think she was thinking something else, but she wanted to make it nice. But
I think I'm sorry. I think he was protecting himself.
I think
I
so
don't think
too.
that he was protecting you because it sounds like the way the older men used to do. You didn't party the way they partied, so he didn't have to worry about you. Keep you away from that, so he could enjoy himself the way he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about you. I think it was more or less about what he wanted for himself because he wouldn't have been able to let himself go because he would had the fact that, oh, she's there and I know when we get home or whatever she's gonna be talking about it, she's gonna be mad, she this, she that. I think it more or less is like he was just saying, no, it's better for me to get out here. It's easier for me to get out here and do my thing versus having to have you out here and now worry about you and my thing. No, then knowing we're gonna have a problem. I think it's
Oh,
something.
that sounds so true, so true. because a lot of times we're one way when we home, we get amongst those friends and family, we get ass crazy. We can get buck wild, say what we want to say, when we want to say, how we want to say it. But then we got that spouse with us. Oh, I got to tone it down. Oh, I can't be myself. Oh, I can't be real. So I agree with you 100%. It was on him.
Let me bring another side to this equation, because I was on the
Oh,
other side.
shit.
I didn't drink or didn't smoke, and I come from a large family. My family drank so much alcohol they call it oil. They don't call it alcohol no more. They call it oil because they gonna drink
Okay.
and they're gonna smoke. They're gonna do everything they want to do under the sun, anything they big and bad enough to do. And I don't smoke and don't drink. But when my family had functions, I always brought me, my kids, and we always went. And then when my family started getting bug wild, I put my wife, my kids in the car, and we left. And that's what we did. But if it's a family thing, if he's there and you guys are together, and he never invited you when he went there, it may be some issues other than he was protecting you or himself. It may be some more issues, because think about it. If this is something he did, you said during your conversation today, he only did it when he went off. When he went to stay a weekend. He never really did it when y'all just meet, when you would meet his family for a few minutes or whatever and leave. He'd only do it when he go off for a weekend, like 3 or 4 days or 2 or 3 days, right?
Right.
So that sounds like a get out of jail free card or escapism. I think there's a little bit more happening than some smoking and drinking.
Well, if it was, it don't matter anymore because we're no longer together.
Okay, keep it moving. Go ahead, let's
That was a big ass red flag. It was waving good.
That was a beacon.
Trust me, I took good notes. All right, example number 3. We have Bree and Sean. Bree used to feel insecure when Sean traveled for work. Over time, instead of restricting him, they created rituals: a good night FaceTime call, love notes packed in his bag to maintain their bond while giving him freedom. What does it look like to build security without control?
Okay, any comments on this one? Any comments on this one?
Yeah, that sounds like what I'm in right now.
All right now.
Okay. Any more comments?
So Glenda, read that one more time, please.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We have Bree and Sean. Bree used to feel insecure when Sean traveled for work. Over time, instead of restricting him, they created rituals: a goodnight FaceTime call, love notes packed in his bag to maintain their bond while giving him freedom. So the question regarding this example is, what does it look like to build security without control?
They had good communication and trust amongst each other. That's what that was.
Yeah, she didn't start out that way, but
No, but it became that way.
yes, it did. You're absolutely
And
right.
what happened was she built security with him from the FaceTime, from the communications that they had while he was away. And it gave her that same thing as being there.
Right.
Not every time, but being there. Oh,
Right.
no, we good, we good, we good, we good. Although that can slap you in the face too in reality,
Sure can.
because over time, let me put it this way, like in my first marriage, oh no, he's fine, ain't going nowhere. She knew I wasn't going nowhere. She knew I wasn't doing nothing. You understand? So she did whatever she wanted to do. Oh, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. You know, because she knew that. When she called herself leaving me the one time, and I stepped out, it hit her like a ton of bricks. But we weren't together, supposedly.
Right.
You understand? But they had communication and trust. along with respect for each other. So yes,
Right.
that was cool.
Right.
Yeah, they worked it out over time because at first she indicated she did feel insecure. She had issues.
Right.
So Sean could have said, "Well, look, babe, I ain't doing nothing, and at business as usual." But instead, he gave in, and they worked something out. They worked their conflict out, which was a good way of doing that. So that's excellent. That's excellent.
Communication.
Yeah. Now, if in a marriage, that's great, but in a relationship, in just a relationship or situationship, would you allow that? Would you go that far, or you would say, "Nah, we ain't going that far"?
Communication.
We
Okay.
can do that. We can do
Because
that.
think about it. A marriage is just legal.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships nowadays is being married without the paperwork. So it's the same thing. The way the relationships are nowadays and the way they shacking up and doing everything, raising kids and the whole nine, it, it's the same thing as being in a marriage without the paperwork. Only
Kind of, but
thing
not.
is you're not getting the real benefits of being married. That's the only difference.
I think that's another subject for another night. I think we better see what's in hand night about that.
Right.
Let's go to number 4, Glenn.
Okay. We have Kenya and Patrice. Kenya constantly checks Patrice's phone just to be sure she's not hiding anything. Patrice feels disrespected and less willing to open up. Kenya said, "It's about love, but it feels like surveillance." Where the line between healthy transparency and controlling behavior? Where's the line between healthy transparency and controlling behavior? You don't check nobody's phone. If you feel like you had to check somebody's phone, I'm sorry, let me dive in first. If you feel like you had to check somebody's phone, that's not somebody
That
you be with.
that's nobody you need.
That is,
No,
yeah,
that's a red flag because when you look for something, you're gonna find something.
absolutely.
It's
I
like
don't even
having
want to
faith
answer
in
my man's
somebody.
phone, but sometimes he'll tell me to pick it up. I'll be like, "You sure?"
Now,
It's like having faith. When you believe in something strong enough, it happens.
is
You
it different?
understand?
Is it different with the sexes? So these are two ladies. These are two girls. Is it
Right.
different? Do you get more freedom or less freedom?
I was always told same sex, same problem. That's what one of my male gay friends used to tell me. Because I wondered the same thing if, they had the same issues as the heterosexuals. And he said, same sex, same problems. Don't nothing change, Glenda.
I think it's same sex is a bigger problem.
Yeah.
The same sex is a bigger problem because, first of all, two females, they clash bigger than a male and a female clash. So, same thing with males. If you got them two out there thinking of like, oh, child, this, all this, that, and the other, that's a bigger problem than a straight and a normal folks. So it don't matter whether it's two males, two females, or whatever. It's a problem, a huge one.
I think because now the telephones, they're so personable. It's not like your house phone, it's your personal. It's like, it's like your person in your pocketbook or something, or your pocket or your wallet or something. Or I don't think anybody should violate that. I think it's personal. If I
Invading
ask
your space.
someone, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying invading your space. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like she say, if her partner asks her to answer the phone, I'm like saying, I don't even want to be put in that spot. I will hand you your phone, but I ain't answering it. I don't care who up there because I'm human. I might start wondering. You never know. So I would rather keep it real. No, answer your own doggone phone. I will hand it to you. I don't care if you can't answer it, then you're not available. So don't ask me to answer your phone. You want me to see who's on your phone. Why? Why? I don't want to see who's up there. I ain't up there. So you wait till you can answer it.
No, that's not fair. That's not
That
fair.
is
Because
I agree with
That's
you
her
in that.
opinion.
I
That's
know,
her
I
I
know.
agree
opinion.
with
Say
you in
something.
that.
Wait. I got you. Let me explain why I said that. My phone sits right there.
Mhm.
When it rings, I don't have a clue who it is.
Right.
I don't have a clue who it is. Now, if you tell me who it is and I tell you to answer it, then I can agree with what you just said. But if I don't have a clue who it is and I say, babe, answer my phone, please, then answer it. There is no problem with that. That's part of that communication and trust. You understand? I don't hide. Just like with me. Then that is me. My wife, go in my purse and get me my keys, baby. Hand me my wallet out of my purse. Hell no, here's your purse. I do not go in a female's purse at all. That's my opinion. That's me though. I just don't do that. But I answer the phone. If you tell me, hey, how you doing?
I
I'm
don't
gonna answer
agree.
the phone.
I don't agree.
I don't
That's
agree.
a it,
Hey,
it-
well,
that
let me ask you this. Let me
that's an
ask you this.
invasion of privacy. First of all, if you got to go around checking your man's phone, that means you don't trust him. So it's time for you to cut that short and go on and move on. If you
Now
got to
that's a
check that
different.
man's phone, I don't care what man's I've ever dated. He could never tell you that I picked his phone up and went through his phone. His wherever he laid his phone, that's where he went back and got it. I'm not gonna check his phone. I'm not gonna check his mail. I'm not gonna check who come to his door. But at the end of the day, that's an invasion of privacy. And if I'm gonna look for something, then I'll sit and just wait because I believe people tell you who they are by what they do. And if a man is doing something to me, or if he's got another woman, or he's doing anything, first of all, if you listen, he's gonna tell you exactly what he's doing. But you have to be in tune to listen to what's going on. You don't have to go and look for anything. It's gonna come to you.
We're
Absolutely.
talking on two different scenarios right there, baby. I'm sorry. One,
I'm
checking the
talking
phone,
about the answering the phone.
right? But then you also said checking the phone, going behind checking somebody,
If
looking
you're
for
answering
something.
it, you're gonna
That's
check
one.
it.
Yep. But hold on,
No,
Miss
you're
King,
not.
Miss King, hold up. Let's we're not going back
I'm
and forth.
getting lost.
But let me the question when she read it, she said that she checked her friend's phone. So it's more than answering, it's checking her friend's phone. So
Okay, well then I agree with you. I
okay.
agree with you then, 100%. But
So,
just answering the phone because he told me to answer it, that's
I'm
not
not gonna do
checking.
that.
Yeah.
so
But that's good. That's good. I understand.
Mr. Kingdom, there's a saying that I kind of remember from before. Don't start nothing. Won't, don't start something that I don't even know how it
You
goes.
can't fit.
Don't
Don't
start
start nothing
nothing,
you
it
can't
won't be
finish.
nothing.
Yeah, something like that. But
Don't
see that.
start what you can't finish.
Yeah, and then like if you start something in a relationship, I think sometimes you keep it going or something like that. So that's a feeling of untrust or
Mhm.
distrust. I wouldn't want to start like that.
Could I ask you something though?
Sure.
What happens if we flip that then?
What do you mean?
Whenever his phone rings, he pick it up and want to go in the room or do something else and not want you to hear his conversation, not want you to see
I
it.
don't want to hear his doggone conversation. Go on in the room. It's not my phone. It's not my conversation. I prefer it. Go on.
You would want him to feel comfortable being able to talk to whoever's on the other line while you sitting there?
If that's his choice. You said, what if he go? If he chooses to
Yeah.
go in another room to have a conversation with anyone, I have no problem with that. I don't, my personal, I don't, that's not intimidating to me. I don't want to worry about that. No.
The only reason I made that statement because for every action is a reaction.
True.
And if that's action you give me by not wanting to answer the phone or not wanting to do this, that, and the other, then that gives me a reaction to, well, she don't want to be bothered. So when he answers the phone and decide to get up by his choice to go somewhere, in the back of your mind, be like, damn, why you don't want me to hear this conversation?
No,
Why you
see,
don't want me? See, that's all. I'm just asking. I'm being a devil's advocate.
I
That's all.
appreciate that, but for me, no. I can appreciate you walking away to have your conversation, whether it's male, female, mother, father, sister, brother. It doesn't matter to me because if that's what I know how I use my phone, and if I choose and I'm in a group or with my man or whatever, and I don't want to talk in front of him, I will walk away. and don't need him to ask me, hey, why you leave me? Because that's what I wanted to do. I just, that don't bother me.
And you know
Sometimes
what?
I like to talk loud. I like to talk crazy. I might want to do a whole lot of things, and I don't need my man or my partner or my somebody's telling me, be quiet. Hey, you're talking too loud. Hey, what up? No, I don't, that doesn't bother me.
I want to amend you. I want to thank you, and I want to appreciate you. I want to be the first to tell you that you and I have a lot in common. And what that is,
What?
you're speaking your truth about your life and your situations. And when you speak your truth on your life, on your opinion, there's no arguments, no questions, none of that, because that's your truth. Okay? When I speak, it's about my life. And I applaud Rufus them for doing this to allow us to do that. You understand?
I
But
do.
then on the flip side, I'm like Rufus in a lot of ways. Rufus like to start shit. And I'm just telling you, I speak the truth. I'm like they said earlier, the devil's advocate. I do that what if. You understand?
That's pretty cool.
It's not my truth always to the point when I say what if. And
Mhm.
I'm being the devil, but then I also let y'all know that I'm being the devil's advocate.
Well,
But I'm usually when I speak, it's about me, not what somebody else is doing.
Mr. Kingdom, I can agree and I accept that. But and when I talk here, I mean, we're all adults in here and we're learning, we're growing together. And I'm just trying to say, it's not always black and white. We sometimes need to see between, and sometimes we need to be out of the box because this is a growing process. We're learning,
Right,
we're growing, we're developing. And we know what we've always done. And sometimes maybe what we always done haven't brought us where we want to be. So sometimes we might need to see or hear something different to say, hey, maybe that works. I got a crazy mind. So I ain't trying to let y'all hear my mind all the time because I could say something. Y'all may be telling Rufus, what the world? This girl is really crazy. But I like to have fun, but I like to see the picture as it can be, even if I'm not in that lane, maybe I can hear it.
Mhm.
So I
but
appreciate this too.
the reason I say I appreciate you and like that because sometimes when you speak your truth as you just did, it's like going to church, listen to a preacher. You know how a lot of us go to
Now
church and the
you better
preacher get up
stop.
and start preaching? You know how they start preaching? And then
No,
the first thing a lot of us do is like, damn, why are they talking about me? Certain people need to hear it.
Dr.
They need to
Johnson,
hear
did you
it.
hear
Huh?
him? Woo!
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is
Sometimes
good.
people need to hear your truth
Yeah, yeah.
because without hearing it, they out there just doing stuff unconsciously, not knowing. But then when you speak your truth, it goes in one ear and out the other. But something sticks. If you pour water in the funnel, when you get done pouring that water, all the water going right through, right? Wipe that funnel off, and I guarantee you it's wet.
On that note, we got 7 minutes left. So let's begin to
I'm
wrap
sorry.
this up.
I'm gonna shut up. It's y'all night.
You're good. You're good. But let's get to wrap this up because when we talk about this is a subject we can talk about all night. We can carry it next week and all this because this subject is so much to hear. But I think tonight we kind of got all of us kind of got the gist of what's going on. When we step into a relationship, we all want to feel that security, that human bond. We want to feel that we're enough. We want to feel that you'll choose me every day. And we want to feel that, hey, I can trust you with my heart. And we all know what control feels like because we've been in relationships where we've been controlled before. We know what it is. We know when it feels uncomfortable. We know when the other person is putting too many demands on us that shouldn't be. Because they trust me, they wouldn't ask all these crazy questions or pick up my phone and all this kind of stuff. So we know that. So we know what trust feels like. So here's the issues that we have to work through when we're in relationships. We have to feel like, are we in a relationship that we're growing in, or we're in a relationship that's smothering us, that's not answering our needs, that's not serving our needs. We started 2025 saying that we want to get in December 2025, we want to be in our best relationship possible. We want to stay in our best relationship possible. To do that, these are the steps we got to go through. And sometimes in this Sunday night at 9, sometimes you see yourself. Sometimes you see the great part of yourself, and sometimes you see that raggedy part of yourself, that part that needs some more development. So as it may, let's go through this and realize something, that we all can agree or disagree, and we all have our opinions, we all have our experiences, and we share them. This is a safe place. This is a place where we answer stuff collectively. Glenda and I don't have all the answers, but when we put you, Glenda and I, and all of us together as a group, we can answer almost anything. And we got enough computer and phone power that if we don't know the answer, we can look it up. So this is a great place to be. The chat, you guys are off chain tonight with the chat, because I see 43 chats in there. And the last one I saw, Sharon said that's when she's going to answer it. She want to know or something. I saw the last chat I saw. Sharon.
That's right. That's right.
That was the last one I saw. So this is a lively night. We appreciate you guys. We are just so pleased that you have taken us such a long, long way. I just looked at today. I looked at the last draft for the relationship workshop that we have coming up in June. I talked to the DJ again last night. Oh man, the draft, I think we're approving the draft, and tomorrow the draft get approved and Eventbrite gonna pick it up. So it's looking really good. I'm telling you, Sunday night at 9 will not be the same after we go to that workshop in June. Because right now we're giving you milk right now. We're giving you milk. Sunday night at 9, we're giving you milk. But after you come to that workshop, you're gonna want some meat. I'm telling you. So get ready. It is coming. It is coming. I saw the final draft. It is coming, guys. All right, Glenda, take us home.
All right. Thank you. Tonight we've reflected on something that touches all of us, the tension between wanting to feel secure and wanting to love freely. Real love, the kind that nourishes, the kind that lasts, is never built through control. It's built through courage. The courage to trust, the courage to release fear, the courage to love even when it feels vulnerable. As women, we are so often taught to be strong by holding on tight, but sometimes our greatest strength is in letting go. Let's choose love over fear. Let's choose trust over control. And most of all, let's choose freedom for ourselves and for those we love. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sunday Night at 9, and we look forward to seeing you next week, same time.
Good night, everybody. And
Good
I
night.
enjoyed you guys tonight.
Good night.
You guys
Good
are awesome.
night.
Thanks for your conversation and your trust in us. So thank you.